Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do one of the least walked horseshoes in the Lake District. It's the DEEPDALE horseshoe. Right, let's check it out on the map. This walk starts in the lakeland village of Patterdale and picks up 6 Wainwrights. Starting off behind the hotel, heading up we soon reach Arnison Crag, which is our first Wainwright of the day. Then we take the trail along the flatter section before ascending our second Wainwright, Birks. Again we have a more gentle walk, which becomes steeper before we reach the summit of our third Wainwright, St.Sunday Crag. Continuing on, it's a gentle down before we make our way to the head of the horseshoe. And we meet Fairfield and take the track over to Hart Crag, bagging 2 more Wainwrights before we begin the descent and our return journey, claiming our final Wainwright of the day, which is Hartsop Above Hop. The run across the top offers us fantastic views and caps off this magnificent walk in a very quiet horseshoe. We descend to Bridgend, then it's a low-level walk back to our start point in Patterdale. This is a fantastic run round and won't disappoint. We're starting off today at the Patterdale Hotel. It's £5 to park and the machine takes coins, but if you've not got coins you can just pay at the hotel. We're starting around the back of the hotel and this will take us onto the trail. This is our little hidden sign, public footpath. It's autumn in the lakes and today as I'm coming in the leaves have been all golden, so that looks really great. So nice to have a little bit of a woodland start. We can see the colours changing. There you go, that's the Wainwright Trail, AW. For us though, we're heading our way up here and we'll get onto the fells. Here's our first gate of the day. As we come onto the fells, you can see the bracken's really given up for the year, started to fade back. So it should be a fairly clear walk. The trail's pretty straightforward all day. We'll just take a look back at the fells because there's been clag on the tops this morning. That is due to clear, so by the time we get up there, it should be fine. Although the car park was pretty busy today, actually hardly anyone will come up here because a lot of people are working their way over towards Helvellyn, which is the big draw in the area. So one of the things about this walk is it's definitely going to be quiet. It's a bit of a hidden horseshoe really, because you've got the draw of Helvellyn on one side and at the top of this we'll hit probably the most popular horseshoe in Lake District, and that's the Fairfield horseshoe. So the 2 at the top are both from the Fairfield horseshoe, and if you want to look at that one as well, then pop a link in the description for you and you can check it out if you want to. A steady crunchy trail as we work our way up. As we're coming up we start to get the view out to the side, and that's Ullswater just behind me, and then Glenridding is just here. So that's the main start point if you're going up Helvellyn, which is the big draw in the area. For us, we're under this massive tree. What a day. We'll get views pretty quick on this because I'm still in the first kilometre, but just over here we can see that is Place Fell on this side, and then you can just see the summit of Gowbarrow in the distance. This of course is Ullswater down here, and the village of Glenridding will be over here. So that's a popular start point for Helvellyn. But for us, we'll just head on a little bit. This is Oxford Crag we're coming up to, then we'll work our way around to our first notable top of the day, which is Arnison Crag. As we go up, the rise to Arnison Crag is about 300 metres, but we have a great view back, so let's just check it out. If you come over here, then we've got a little viewing point. That's going to give us a cracking view over the area. Let's just pop up here. There we go. Also a nice wild camping spot there. A great view of Ullswater. And this is Place Fell here in the distance. Wow, what a run. Carrying on then, we turn into this quite grassy path as we go up, and it's a mixture of grassy paths and little stony ones today, but nothing too technical, so it's a good dog walk should you be using your fell walks for that. And of course we're collecting a handful of Wainwrights as well on this one. It's always good to pop a few of those in the bag. Already taking my top off because it's pretty hot. Well, I mean, it's about 8 degrees really, but when you're going up, a bit of exertion to start off with. And generally run a bit hotter anyway. So got my mid layer, which you just seen, start blue overcoat. My base layer, which is this merino wool one. And I've got a top layer in case it rains, which it isn't forecast, but it's the Lake District. So I always have one of those in the bag. So for me, I always go out with 3 layers, just in case, because you might spend a bit longer on the tops than you expect. If you check mountain forecast before you come out, it'll tell you the temperature on the top, which is very different than in the valley. So yeah, when I'm coming down or resting, I'll need that mid layer. Just hitting another turn, so we'll progress our way up here to Arnison Crags, and that's our view back. So let's just take a minute to admire that. You can just see the Glenridding Dod over to the side. And Glenridding Dod, I did that with Sheffield Pike in the spring. So if you want to see that, and it has got a woodland walk on it actually up, so this time of year should be great. But if you want to see that, pop it in the description for you. If you want to see any of these walks, they're all in folders. Today we're in the Eastern Fells, and anything around this region, I think I've covered everything really. But if there's something I've missed and you want me to do it, let me know in the comments. When I started purposefully doing the Wainwrights, I didn't record it for about the first year. So although I've covered these fells a number of times in the past, I haven't got everything necessarily recorded. So Place Fell is one I've not got on video yet. So I'll have to go and get that at some point. Yeah, that bracken's just working its way back and be claimed by the ground soon. The reason I wanted to bring you up here today is because really this is a really seldom used horseshoe. Dead quiet. I'll probably not see anybody until I get up to the bit where it meets the Fairfield horseshoe. So if you want to do a quiet one, that's still got some great tops in it and a bunch of Wainwrights, then this I highly recommend. That's us going forward. So just following the wall, dead easy, even in the clag, and it's just a stony path. So nice to start off with. Can you hear those cows down there? This is my preferred distance from cows. About 1 kilometre. If you do want to get Arnison Crag, then we're just at the split, so we would go naturally that way, but we'll just go here and we can top it out and then work our way on. Just hear the church bell there in distance. The church is just down here, sort of midway between Patterdale and Glenridding, and that's telling me it's 11 o'clock. This will take about 6.5 hours today, but I might be stopping to do droning and whatnot. So this time of year when it gets a bit later, just be aware of sundown. Today on my sundown at 6:17, so that is getting early. A little bit of a scramble if you come up here. It's a bit hands-on, but it's fine really. I've got gloves at my bag, but it's quite warm at the moment, so if it gets nippy later, I can pop them on. But this time of year, it's always worth having in the bag. Here we are then, just a view over then distance towards Hartsop Dod. But we are going this way for now, and Hartsop Dod, I covered it a little while ago, but I put in a compilation of 5 horseshoes around the lakes, and it's a really good one. So if you want to check out any of those, just dead quickly, they're about 10 minutes each. Just check out that video and that'll give you some good ideas for long ones like this. Anyway, here we are, Arnison Crag, claimed. What a view out. So the crag is about our level pretty much, but some new things are appearing, so it is starting to lift slowly. And over here, you've just got the view towards Angletown Pikes. Work our way off here. There's some slightly climby things, but it's a pretty gentle run round today. I'd say quite easy for a dog walk this, if you're looking for a full day out. This is the path we were at before, so we've turned off obviously to get Arnison Crag, but if you don't want to pop up, then you can just continue on that road. We're back down to the main path, and there's our stunning view as we look down to Ullswater. The ferry boat's just working its way around, but we're going to go over here and work our way towards Fairfield. We are going to do this anti-clockwise, so this is our return route here. So you can just see the tops are in Clag at the moment, but we'll see how we get on for today. Bit of jeopardy. That's Hartsop Above Hop just in the distance. If you're trying to start your Wainwright journey, or just get a few really good full days in, then horseshoes are a great way to do it. Most of my walks are circular anyway, so all they are really is a circular walk around a valley, so you can pretty much see what you're doing all day as you go around. And if you're not that confident with navigation skills, then they're still pretty easy to do, because you don't need any great skill. Just keep the valley on the side of you and you just top round it and naturally come out where you started. So that's a good one, even if navigation's not that great. But all these ones that I do, there's a map in the description, so you can download that to your phone. It's an OS map, and that'll keep you on target as you go around. So don't worry about thinking, oh, it's a bit more remote or not quite sure where I am. As long as you've got your phone and the OS map, that'll keep you on track, even if it's a bit claggy. And with me today, I also have a charger with me, and that keeps things topped up as I go, because you don't want to be on the fells just relying on your phone and there's no battery. So I say these ones, I don't know where I'm going today. Done this quite a few times, but yeah, just make sure you've got a full battery or a backup. As predicted, I've seen nobody at the moment, and over here that would be working towards Helvellyn. Great view there down to Hartsop village as you come across. Wow. This, now we're up a bit, it gets flatter, so we'll undulate along the top and then work our way up to Birks. So a few Wainwrights in this today. We'll get Birks and then St.Sunday Crag, which I've got a full video on, but it wasn't very popular, I think. Maybe change the thumbnail, see what goes on. So get to Birks. Shortly after that, we're on St.Sunday Crag. They're both Wainwrights. Then we'll head up to Fairfield, which is the head of the valley for today. And again, that is the head of the Fairfield Horseshoe. So it should be a little bit busier there. This is really a hidden horseshoe, because the big draw of Helvellyn pulls a lot of people in, and equally you got Fairfield just at the head, which pulls in some more. And this one is a little secret in between, so don't tell anybody. The ground on this section is slightly squelchy, but absolutely fine really, no big bogs yet. And we're working our way to Trough Head up there, and then we'll work our way up to Birks. Looks like a little bit of clag still there. We'll see how we get on. Yesterday's forecast said clear, except for some mist at 500 metres, and another weather forecast from this morning said clear, but it looks like yesterday was just right. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. Where we are now, we'll just take the dip here and then head up to Birks. The climb's around 200 metres, so we'll notice it, but it's not too bad. That's what we're here for. Can't do any summits if you don't go up any mountains. There you go, a little bit of muddiness down here, but it's only superficial, no big deal. It's not going to get my boots wet, and it is a question of taking the views while you can, and that is great. Look at that, great shot of Ullswater. So heading forward, we'll come up here to Arnison Crag, work our way along, down, and then back round. We're going to just head up there now. Okay, let's go. Well, that's our view down still, so appreciate what you've got while you've got it is the motto of today. And we're going to head our way up. We've got this stone wall to trace our path up, and then we're up to Birks. Lots of the names in the Lake District have a Norse origin, and Birks is from the word birky, and it means birch. So I'd imagine birch trees in the past up here, and equally the Old English name for birch is fairly similar, so I'll put those on the screen so you can see them. But yeah, this would have all been wooded in the past, and a general tell is if you can see the bracken there, then that's really a woodland plant, so gives you an indication that in the past it would have been a wooded area, but cleared by them Vikings. This is us tracing our way through here, so it's a bit tumble down where some of the rocks have come off. Walls are in a bit of disrepair. So what I've noticed now in this clag layer, all the dew on the grass, I'll just show you. So there it is, all the dew clinging on. A little bit of an extra surprise. I'm going to say this clag's here because I've not got my lucky hat on. This one was just in the car. It's my golf hat, of which I am terrible. So yeah, that's how we're around today, out walking, not hacking around a golf course. So yeah, I'll assume it's the hat. The other one's got special magical powers. But that's us walking up. We've got about 80 metres of height to go, and then we're there. What I'll do on this video is, because it's a bit claggy, I'll cut in some historic drone footage so you can see what the area is like, because I've covered this before. So I've got all that ready, I can do that. And then you can see what you would have won. Here's our crossing cairn. There's another path goes down here, but for us, we're on the up. So work our way up to Birks, then St.Sunday Crag. Here we are then, Birks. Boop. So difficult to miss, and surrounded by these little orange tufts. No views today as such, so we'll continue on to St.Sunday Crag. And that is, if you've not been to it, really stands out in the landscape, so especially when you're on Fairfield. We'll be able to hopefully look back and see it. And even if we can't, I've got some historic footage of Fairfield to St.Sunday Crag, so you can look at that. But yeah, it really is a mound that sticks up, very notable in the landscape. But for the moment, it's a walk around in the vapour. As I'm coming up here, this fog really reminds me of the film American Werewolf in London. So I don't know if you've seen that, but I'll hope to stick to the path and not go onto the moors. So it might be a pint in the slaughtered lamb later. This is my OS map that I'd made earlier on today. So that just makes sure I'm on target, because in this, really you could wander off. So if you download that beforehand, you'll definitely be safe all the way around. After the steeper up, this section is relatively calm. It's just a gentle run across the top. When we get to the top of St.Sunday Crag, a little bit of a steeper up, but we've had most of our ascent for today in terms of the steepness. So just a couple of gentle ones now really. And that's us as we wander through the mists of time. Can't see much, but I can see I'm getting to the start of something. There's a climb coming up to St.Sunday Crag once we've been down. We go up, it's about 240 metres. So this will be it. We're just hitting the bottom bit there. So we're not that far off the edge of the cloud base. Let's hope it lifts. I'm not trying to give you an Instagram version of this. This is a little bit squelchy, but I think my shoes will remain dry. Anyway, we'll find out in the next minute. That's what I'm dealing with, so just got to do it relatively quickly. Whee! Bit squelchy in that bit, but you know, it's all right. It's only for maybe 30 yards or so when you're out of it. Here's a good case in point. So I'm slightly off route because there's a load of paths around here. So that's where the app's useful. Because I can't see too much, but I can follow that. And that's what we're looking for. So actually, that is dry, and I should have been on that. But I was over there. So anyway, that's why the app's good, because it tells you where you are, even in claggy conditions. So if we learn nothing else, bring the app. This is our ascent then, a little bit steeper. Wow, good firm path anyway. This steeper section is around 250 metres height, so don't despair, it's not that far, even if you can't see where the top is. Although it's a bit foggy, what we can concentrate on is the path. So if you're going up here, nice broad path in the main, and if you've been up here before, just let me know how you did it and who you did it with, because that tells more people how you can do this route. The last time I did it, I was down in the valley to start off with, and worked my way up to the Brothers Parting Stone, which I'll point at later on. I've reached the split, so there's this way, which is the one I've marked on the route map, or this way. This seems to be the senior of the two in terms of the built-up path, so you'll know when you get here. They both come out at the same point anyway, so it doesn't actually matter which one you go up. But the one to the side of me has good views should you have a clear day. And just on the OS maps as well, because someone was saying, oh, I followed your route the other day, and it was the one that includes Dodd. It was quite close to an exposed bit. So this isn't like a sat nav. When I put the route on, it goes to the official path that OS have. So if you think it's slightly safer to the left or the right, just do that. Okay, don't try and follow it like exactly on. Just a bit of spatial awareness around, just if you're brand new to hiking, and that'll be the same for anyone's maps really, because it just automatically connects to the official paths, again to stop people wandering off to the side. But yeah, just a bit of situational awareness as well. If you think it's dangerous, then just nip off to a safer bit. This path I'm on now, which is the one to the right, it's a little bit steeper than the one to the left, but I'll say they both pop out at the top, so either way it's fine. And the ascent is about 100 metres, so it's not massive. There's a big indicator, we're on the path. Decent path in our cairn. Out to the side here, if we had a view, we'd be looking over Dollywagon area. And out towards Helvellyn. Helvellyn is the biggest thing in the area, so it's the third biggest thing in England, and it's the third highest of the fells in the Lake District, of course. So you've got the big one, Cofa Pike, and then Scafell, much less visited to the side. And then picking up the bronze medal here, we've got Helvellyn. So I've got a good video on that. If you want to see it, then in fact I've got two. I'll put it in the description, but if you want to go up Striding Edge, and I'll put Striding Edge on the screen now for you, that is a fantastic run up. It's one of Wainwright's 6 exciting situations in the Lake District. It is not to be done by the faint-hearted because it's quite a ridge, but you can walk to the side of it if you want to on a safer route. But if you want a really safe route, then if you come up from the Dollywagon side, and again I've got a video on that, then that has no exposure at all. So you can have your butties and watch people nip across the top of that. Anyway, for us, we'll continue our ascent. About 100 metres on this stiffer bit, but the path is quite straightforward. Just to give you a sense then, so we'll come up here. That's the level of steepness we're looking at, and then continues on a little bit more. You can just see the sun coming through there. So actually, I think this mist's burning off because it's starting to look a bit brighter. I was out like this on a Helvellyn trip, and actually it did look quite cloudy. When we got near the top, we broke out of it and we got a cloud inversion, so that was brilliant. You could see all the peaks that were above 3,000 feet in the Lake District, so really great that day. Got a couple of photos from it, but the actual GoPro memory card got corrupted because it was in freezing conditions, so only the drone footage survived that one. Bit of a shame. Still, these are the tribulations. We're coming for you. That to me looks like it's clearing up. Can see further than the could before, that's for sure. Right, there's a misty sort of fault top. We're going a bit further up there. This last section really flattens out, so when we round off, we are getting there. Here's our little run in. So this is St.Sunday Crag. We'll just give the top a little tap and claim it as a Wainwright. Right, not much going on here because we can't get a view, so I'll just show you this from the drone on a different day. Deepdale Horseshoe, it goes around the Deepdale Beck, which is in the middle, and Deepdale Common is on the side just down here to our left. But we'll continue on. We're going to do a bit of an ascent gradually as we get towards Fairfield, and we'll see if any of this clears today. I promise not to do one of these videos in the Clag, but I'll keep cutting in that footage so you can see what it looks like on a clear day. And even though I can't see anything today, having done this before, I can visualise it because I know at the side here, as we go up to Cofa Pike and then get up to Fairfield, there's a nice rise. So this is what it would look like on the drone as we work our way up. It is a really great route coming up, and I say just got a bit unlucky today because this wasn't forecast. Well, it wasn't forecast today. It's supposed to be clear, but you know, it's the luck of the draw. There's sheep there wandering around. Little sheepies. They put on a little bit of weight for the winter. Blimey. It's going to be a cold one. I'm in the market for some more fell shoes at the moment because I think I've worn these out. These that I normally wear, they're the Salomon X Ultra 4, which I've had for about 2 years now, and they are really great, but I've worn them out. So if you've got a good pair of boots and got any tips for me, then just pop it in the description, because these definitely need replacing. Someone was asking me about the Cumbria Way the other day, because I did that last summer. I did it in these shoes, and they were saying, is it worth doing it in boots or should we do it in fell shoes? And it is up to you really. There's more support in boots, but the Cumbria Way, in the most part, it's a trail. It's not really rocky and clambery and everything else. It's a bit of a trail, so yeah, if you've got dry fell shoes, then that's perfectly good. It's more to do with the conditions of the day really, but what I would say is take some blister plasters, the sort of gel ones, because I got blisters on day one because it was really wet and my fell shoes were rubbing against my ankle, which is not an issue I would have in boots, so I'll tell you that now. And I got some gel pads from the shop in Coniston, and they were just an absolute lifesaver. They were absolutely brilliant. Just left them on the rest of the time and I couldn't feel anything at all rubbing. But again, I put all that kind of stuff in the description for you if you're interested and need to get that covered, because after all, we want to enjoy it. You can probably hear that dog. I don't really know what to do about this. I've not passed anyone for absolutely ages, and oh, hang on. There we go. There's its mates. There are 3 dogs without collars wandering around on the moors. I mean, that film I mentioned earlier. I better get out of here. Slightly freaking me out there. So even if you think you're not going to see anything, there's always something going on. But yeah, those 3 dogs, I haven't seen anyone for half an hour at least. So I don't think they've got an owner. I think they're just wandering around because they've not got collars. Well, and given it's a sheepy area, that's not great. If we could see anything, then Grisdale town would be here, just below us. And that's near the Brothers Parting Stone. This will be Dolly Wagon going up here. So again, I can show you an image of that. Just for reference, we're dropping gradually about 200 metres and then we'll gain that back up again on the other side as we go up to Cofa Pike. And that's not exactly steep, but it is more notable of a walk up as you go. That'll take us eventually onto Fairfield. As we're working our way to almost the lowest point, this is the track which comes up from Grisdale town. So should you do the valley walk or fancy the valley walk back, then that's the one you take. Again, the valley down that side has excellent views all the way down. I'll just show you a little shot of it now. Eventually you'll get to this, and the rise up here is around 150 metres, so it seems super steep, but actually it's not for that far. Then that really is our height done for this. It's just a walk around to Fairfield. Right, let's get up there then. Just to mention as well, you know, we've got a minute. If you are new to hiking and getting into it, all the things I have as rucksacks, they've got a chest strap here, stop it moving around, so it keeps it easy. And they've got a waistband, and you should be carrying the majority of the weight on your waistband, so that takes the pressure off your spine, just makes the whole thing a lot easier. So if you are looking at gear, I'd definitely say make sure you've got something with a waistband on it. So a bit of a rocky section coming up, but it's not too far. Look at that. Probably the trickiest thing I've come across so far. You can see our trail there. It's pretty straightforward to do that. We'll kind of wind our way around and then up to the top. This really has got pretty rocky pretty quickly, but we're not climbing yet. I've not put my hands down or anything. It's nice and dry underfoot today, so that's another good thing. 100 metres to go. That would be a great look back. I'll try and put enough footage in this to give you a good idea what it's like on a clear day, because it is magnificent. And this climb's not actually as bad as it initially looks because the path just winds around. There we go. Got another 20 metres of height to go, then I'll start to level out. But Fairfield itself, on top, it is very rocky and it's got lots of features. So it's got a few wind shelters on there, it's got a care marker on there, or more than one actually. So it's a notable top, and it does have great views back on a clear day. So it's just come up here and we're just gonna level off, and you can tell, even though you can't see a lot, that it is quite the drop off down there. Anyway, we'll pop to the top of this because we're here and give it a little tap. There's a lower path down there as well, should you wish it. There we go. Cofa Pike. Right, so it's now going to get more gentle and we're round to Fairfield. We're off there. This will get a bit busy, and I've just seen a couple of guys going down here. This is down to St.Sunday, so if you are collecting Wainwrights, that's a nearby one. But for us, we're up here a little bit and then we're on the top of Fairfield. The Fairfield horseshoe is the most popular of all the horseshoes in the Lake District. So this will get busy, I imagine, just at the top where we pick off two of the Wainwrights on it. But yeah, there's lots of others to do. And if you're picking up Wainwrights, the horseshoes are a really good way of doing it, or even just going out for a bit of a casual day, because they take about, I'd say, Most of them take about 6 to 8 hours, so it really is like a full day out. This one took me about 6.5 to get round, but we are nearly halfway. When we get to Fairfield, that's our halfway marker. Well, looks a bit scrabbly up there, but there you go. At this point you've actually got two options. So you can take the scree run up, and that is just here, it's just the quickest way, or down that way and then just work your way on. There's not much in it either way. So I'll go up here, just for the fun. I have mentioned it before, but if you're walking on scree, you want to dig your toe in so that knits the rocks together and there's less chance of sliding. And equally, if you're coming down, dig your heel in. Again, that creates a pressure point and that reduces your skidding. This one turns into a mini clamber, so that's a bit more fun. And again, if it's not your thing, you can go on the alternate path just at the side, because that's just stable. There we go. So we'll pop out onto the top. Here we are then, top of Fairfield. The view out to St.Sunday Crag will be over there. So I'll show you that on a clear day. And that looks like our top and wind shelter. But there's a few wind shelters around here. One over there. Whew, just have a minute on the top here. So we're halfway around. I've had sandwiches and I've got this. Went to Morrison's before I came out, and it's a protein and vanilla yoghurt. I had 4 yogurts the other day, a bit too much, with absolutely mullered. From Fairfield, we'll work our way over to Hart Crag, which is another Wainwright, and these two are on the top of the Fairfield horseshoe. So that again is a great little run in the area. We're going to just take this down to Hart Crag and then veer off towards the left, and that'll be the other half of our horseshoe. And then we'll work our way out of the clag. Where I'm at the head of the valley here, there's an absolutely cracking view on the way down to Ambleside, so I'll just show you that valley shot. So I say on a clear day it gives you brilliant views, and I know some people have commented on the channel that have done this or done the Fairfield horseshoe and it was just clag, but you know, but I'll say this wasn't forecast, but you can't win them all. This section, dead flat on the top, broad path, you can see it there behind me, and we'll work our way down. There's a little bit of a descent to do to get to Hart Crag, but once we're there, it's an easy walk round. There's some really strange names around here for the crags, and just off this side, there's a place called Flinty Grave, so hopefully no one's had an accident there, but you never know. This is our top as we work our way to Hart Crag. It is definitely stony, so definitely fell shoes or boots on this one. So there's a down and an up to do, and then we'll be at Hart Crag. Here's our descent. It is a little bit scrabbly, so you need to be careful. There's some loose rock, but there are enough big ones that you can get on top of them and make it safe. This down's not massive, it's about 40 metres, and the same on the other side as you go up. But yeah, it is a little bit of a slower one because it's quite steep, but the rocks are pretty stable. That's us through that section. Same again on the other side going up, then we're at Hart Crag. So I can see some people have taken tracks up there, but I mean that's where it is. But realistically there's a path around here, and if we stick to the path, that reduces the erosion. And you know, what a nice broad path, let's just stick on that. So we'll soon be at this one. Once I've claimed it, we're heading back on Hartsop Above Hop, and that'll take us pretty much down to the pub again. So this is the path off, that's the main path, and you can see it's semi-hidden amongst the rocks, but it's definitely there. So if you follow it on the map, you'll see it. Right, here we are. That's us. So from here, you'd be going down there to the Fairfield Horseshoe continuation, but for us, we're going to head back because we've got a different thing in mind. We'll work our way back, and we're going to go over Hartsop Above Hop, and that is a high-level route which will take us all the way back down to the pub, pretty much. This down again, it's a little bit scrabbly, but the run itself, when we get on it, is quite an easy one across the tops. The steeper bit of this down is around 100 metres, and then we sort of level out. It continues to go down, but it levels out as we get onto the tops. And normally out to the side, on this side, you get a cracking view of Hartsop Dod, and on the other side, you have the view back to St.Sunday Crag. However, thankfully, we're dropping out the Clag actually, so we might get a view of something shortly. This is what our run down looks like, so it is one to be careful on, but we'll quickly drop down, hopefully below the Clag, and get some decent views as we descend. That's our down as it continues. But we'll soon be out of this and on something a bit more stable. Not that it's not stable, the rocks are actually solid, but I'd imagine on a wet day, could be a different matter. This is just one solid piece of rock. I've completed it now, so that's the travel down that we've done. And now we're going to go down here. So much easier from this point. There's our nice easy track going forward. So this bit, there's a little bit of water on it, but generally speaking, it's decent. It's like slightly peaty on this top, and there's a bit of water. My boots aren't wet though, so it's fine. There's plenty of rocks to get on top of most of the time. And again, I'm trying to show you how this actually is as a walk, rather than Instagram it for you. Not that I've got anything against Instagram. If you want to check out my Instagram, it's in the description. We're dropping below the Clag, and we can now see in front of us Hartsop Above Hop, and there it is as we get a bit of a clearer run. So we're on that and then heading our way gradually down back to the pub. Similar landscape all the way, and as we look across, that we can see is Hartsop Dod, and we did that route the other day. This is looking good for our run back. I can actually get some views in after draining the archive footage. But for now, we just have to navigate this and then we're safe. So I'm going to nip round the side. That looks to be jumpable. We're across. You can see the views opening out to the side there now. So I'll say it is great views if you get on a clear day. This is us pretty much on the top. And look at that view out to the side. Wow. So when I was on Cordale Moor the other day, on the Hartsop Dod walk, this is the other way you can do it. Go around the top there, and then take this one, and then back down. The Clag's a bit higher than it was earlier, so you get some slightly Greater views going down. We're just approaching the summit now. And here it is. I'm going to get it from this low angle. Boop. Right. Got a nice valley view there as we go down. Started to open up again as we're below the cloud line. This fell top's quite a welcome sight because you can just get the views as you go around, so you can see some of what we've been missing during the day. So a nice finish to the walk as we come down. That's our view ahead. Still quite misty, but you're really getting some reflections from the sun on the fell tops. Here's our run as we carry on dropping down a bit of height. Nice and easy. You can see the cloud line there. Wow, look at that. Really catching the fell tops. Dead ahead you can see Angletown Pikes there with the sun on it. And next to that, to the right, is Hart Crags. They're both Wainwrights. So if you're looking for a short walk, I've got a video on those. Angletown Pikes is a favourite for wild swimmers and wild campers because it's not too far off the beaten path. You can get up pretty quickly and they've got stunning views all the way around. So that's busy in the summer, but this time of year, definitely just your hardy hikers and your hardy campers out, or very hardy swimmers. But I wouldn't fancy it in this because it's probably going to be about 3 degrees in the water. Still, we've got a cracking view of the valley going down. Look at that. Stunning. The cloud is actually lifting because if you remember from the start of the video, or this morning as I call it, you couldn't really see Place Fell at all, but it's just got a little bit touching it there. You definitely couldn't see Angletown Pikes. You can just see Hart Crags just lit up ahead there. Absolutely great. We've definitely got some impressive autumn colours as we come along. It's mainly due to the grasses turning colour. Look at that. Like a little orange wig. There's our far end. And definitely the cloud is lifted and we're getting spectacular views all the way around. There we go. Can't ask for fairer than that. So it has eventually treated us to a bit of magnificence. There's this section which is a little bit steeper, and once we've completed that you can see it's a really easy run down, and then working our way around the side there and we'll get back to the pub. Bit of jumping about in this last bit, but wouldn't it be a trip out in the lakes without jumping about? Let's try and get over this. So yeah, little squelching parts, but generally speaking really good. I've only got probably 50 minutes left on this to complete the walk. So it's been a nice straightforward walk today. Eventually got some striking views, so like that. Oh dear. I think this is an ex-sheep. Oh dear. Well, I wonder if that was those dogs that we saw on the fell before, because I didn't see anybody else with them. So they were definitely strays having a good run about. St.Sunday Crag is just there behind me, being struck by the sun. If you enjoyed the video, it helps me if you click on like, or put a comment in, or subscribe, and that spreads this out to more people. So, I'm going to work our way down now, and I'll see you back at the pub. First style of the day, and it's a one runger. There you go. 4 rungs on the other side. That's a lovely picturesque view as we're coming in. And there we are. So to complete the walk, just heading our way forward, and the pub is just round the bend there. Oh, it's just coming past. Look at this. That one is all ready. Got its red berries out. Ready for winter, making me feel all Christmassy. So we're through this as we get towards the valley floor. Little twisty trees. We definitely are back into our autumnal scene now, down into the woods. And we're soon out onto the fields and work our way across to Patterdale. Right, so we're across here and into the field. There's a quizzical sheep looking at me there. Hello. There you go, permitted route. So work our way across, we'll go into the phone box over there. And actually, if you don't want to start at the car park, you can start this at that phone box, and there's free parking there for about 5 cars, and then just 50 yards on, about another 5 cars. Squeeze through here. Right. And that's pretty much us. This is the other parking spot, which is free, and you can start from here. But often it gets full first thing in the morning, so I just thought I'd show you the other one. Look at that Acer though, fantastic. Once we've crossed over Deepdale Bridge, we are just on the public footpath again here. So there's no path at the road, we just head onto the fells. And then we are working our way up here. My thoughts on the walk, I definitely would recommend it. It's a great 10 miler. You can get fantastic views all the way around on the right day, so hopefully I've shown you enough of that. So just up to the houses, and then it's an easy walk back for us. Now we'll just work our way through here. Whoop. I've just bumped into Alan and his missus there. They were just enjoying the view and having a glass of wine and a pint. So I think I'll do that soon. But I've got to catch up with Alison at the end. So I'll have it in my local boozer. At the side of us, we've just got some hefty sheep. They don't really look like jumpers, but they must do. I don't mean woolly jumpers. I mean, they can jump these fences. They do look a bit more like woolly jumpers. Looks like it's feeding time over here. Still a few calves with the cows.